pray, I beseech, I call upon that this be a year of abundance for you, for our community, for
Yes.
Fort Worth, that you have renewed clarity, that you have rejuvenation, that you have an overflow of blessings, so much so that it touches not just you, but everybody in your house, everybody in your community,
Yes.
and we uplift Fort Worth together.
Together.
Can we all say amen?
Amen. Amen.
Now, as we are getting ready to go into 2026, we got to start thinking about, redirection. We got to start thinking about clarity and redefining what 2026 is going to look like and driving a path forward. And
Right.
that being the case, picking up on what we were talking about the last time, board direction and moving things forward. So guess what? I got two very special people
Come
with
on
us
now.
here today.
Mhm.
Not only do I have Miss Misha Sturns with us, I got my board president, the one and only Miss
Yes.
Anita Heiskell. Can we
Yes.
give them some love? Give them some love. Give them some love. Yes.
Welcome, 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 ladies. We
Thank
are so
you.
excited to have you all here with us backstage. And before we go any further, I always have to put this out there. Tell us a little bit about yourself. Who you be? Who you be, and what is your purpose of serving on the board of Jubilee Theatre? But we're gonna start with you first, Misha, since you're the closest to me.
Okay. Well, listen, you all have the energy. Y'all bring it. I love it. So my name is Misha Sturns. I am a native of Fort Worth, Texas. I actually graduated high school at Western Hills.
Okay.
And I am pleased to serve as a board member. It has been a little bit over a year now. I'm very passionate about the arts. I've always been very passionate about the arts, but it's something about this theater. It's something I've known about all my life, and it's just a very magical place. I tell you all that every time I come through there. I mean, I absolutely love the feeling that I get. So to be associated with the board means a great deal to me.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank
And we
you.
love having you here.
Oh, pleasure's all mine.
Now, board president, you're
Yes.
next. Tell us about yourself.
Thank you, Kenya with the J. So, hello, everyone. I'm Anita Heiskell. I am the chair of the board for the Jubilee Theatre, and I am in my 4th year, and it doesn't even feel like it. And
Really?
the importance for me for being on this board is Jubilee is such a little hidden gem. I'm not from Fort Worth. I'm actually from Memphis, Tennessee. But after being here all these years and kind of growing up in Fort Worth as a transplant, coming to see Jubilee, it is very important to me to see this theater continue and to continue handing out those plays and producing those plays that give the experience of African Americans.
Yes.
And it's such a variety of people that have been coming forever. They love it. People that it's their first time, they come and they love it. And so for me, being a part of this board, it feels so special because of the closeness that we have, but also the quality of the performances that we put out.
Yes.
And I'm happy to be a part of that to bring more people in so that they can experience.
Awesome.
Thank you,
You know
thank you,
what?
thank you.
You know, we also want to hear some little backstory, right? Before we go further, because
Come on.
my person over there.
excited to
He
talk about the
goes
board now.
in and he goes in hard. But we want a little backstory. Misha, what do you do in your spare time besides being a board member?
Well, since we're
Come on.
documenting this whole thing, I have to say, I work in the sales industry.
Okay.
Pharmaceutical sales, to be exact. I've been doing it for about 24, 25 years now.
right.
I love what I do. I love to be a resource to individuals, to make people's lives better, to make processes easier, to feel more valued in what I do. I think it's really important to have a charitable heart. I think it also transitions to my desire to be very prominent even in this art space, because I think you have to love seeing people happy.
Yes.
So
Yes.
I love what I do because I love to make their lifestyle better. And I like the flexibility with my job, all the things that come along with it. So, yeah, I'm in a very happy place now, and I'm excited about see what the future holds.
Awesome. What about you, Miss Board President?
Are you ready to hear about all of the things I do?
Come on, give it to us. Give it to us.
Okay,
Because you're a
so-
jet setter.
Yes,
You get
I'm
around.
a jet setter. So I am an etiquette consultant, and the name of my business is called Prim, Poised, and Proper. And so I do a lot of etiquette training with young people, teenagers, adults, but I also work with different corporations and different companies, helping their interns and their executives to become the best that they can possibly be, knowing how to present because they're representing their different companies. I also run the Miss Juneteenth DFW pageant under the umbrella of Unity Unlimited with Miss Deion Sims and Opal Lee. I do that. I'm in about my 4th year of doing that. I also, boy, that's a lot.
And she
Come on.
She crowns queens, though, just
Yes,
so you know.
she does.
She
And,
crowns queens.
Yes, and we've
Queens.
had 2 national queens under my direction,
Yes.
so
All
I have
right.
to put that out
Yes.
there. And then I also am a commissioner. I am a commissioner with the ESD, which is the Emergency Services District 1. I was appointed by Commissioner Roy Brooks, and then after his retirement, I was kept on by Commissioner Roderick Miles. And so that's just a
Wow,
little
I
part
did
of
not
it.
know that.
I didn't
know.
This
either.
is something
I didn't
we-
come on.
we-
She just slid. I'm
And
the
I'm a
commissioner.
commissioner,
She just
too.
slid that one in there.
Yeah, and so it's really interesting to when someone says Commissioner Heiskell, I'm like,
I love it.
so that's a little bit of what I do, but I serve a lot in the community. I volunteer a lot in the community, and youth is my love, and that's who I love to work with.
Come on.
This is something that we did not know about our lovely board members,
Come on.
and I am loving this backstory. Not that I'm going to use it for anything, but
But we have it on camera.
but I love it. I love it. Take it away, Mr. Richardson. Go ahead.
not Mr. Richardson.
Mr. Richardson.
So here's the deal. We're continuing our conversation about Jubilee's board, about what does it mean to be on a board or run a nonprofit. And for a lot of us, when we think about nonprofits, one of the first things we think about is the org chart. You know, you have your board, then you have your directors, and then under your directors, you have your coordinators, and then under your coordinators, you have your contractual workers and everything else. And everything just kind of flows according to the chart. What I propose for this conversation as we're moving forward and thinking about going into the future, and for those of you out there running a nonprofit, is let's think about it in a different way. Let's think of our nonprofit as a train. And what I mean by that is this. A train is going to be a system that is going to run in a clean direction. It is dictated by its tracks. The tracks are the mission of the organization. If you move off target of the mission, you derail the train. Therefore,
Okay.
you have to stay on track with the train. Now, that train also has an engine. That engine is the driving power behind the train.
Come on.
That's where our board comes in. They're the engine. They're the power source that's making it possible for the organization to keep doing the things that it has to do. And behind that engine, or working along with that engine, is a conductor. That's where you get your artistic director, your managing director, your executive staff. They're the ones that are looking out the window. They're the ones driving the train. They're the ones looking out the windows and seeing and things are on their way. And they're working with the engine to make sure that the organization, that the train is consistently moving in the right direction. And the blessing of all of that is, guess what? If the engine and the conductor are working well together, it does not matter how many cabooses you add behind it, it's going to keep moving in the same direction. And so as we're getting ready to go into this, our season of planning, the question becomes, or what we're going to be exploring is, how are we going to work together in keeping the train on its tracks? Because there have been some times where it wobbled a little bit, but we kept it moving. And there have been some times where we got a little scared, or sometimes where we went through a tunnel and we didn't know what was on the other side of that tunnel. But the engine, the conductor, the caboose, the staff, the attendants, somehow by the grace of God, we are continuing to move it forward. So my first question to you, beautiful ladies, is what do you see a nonprofit board should be as we're moving forward? And that can be things that we're already doing and things that you would like to see us do more of.
Well, first of all, I just want to say I just love listening to you talk. I mean, that was a story. I was on board. I was like, let's go choo choo. Let's go. It was giving me little engine that could. I mean, it really was all those things. And I think that's really the goal. You need to motivate your team. Everyone should all be on the same accord to want that same mission. And I think we have I know we have a team of individuals with you all as well as the board who are passionate about the success of the organization as a whole, about the future that we have in store. We believe in the productions. Well, of course, we believe in you all. And I think collectively, that's going to be a testament to the future success of Jubilee. I'm trying to think of the things. I mean, I honestly just feel like just staying connected and keeping the eyes on the prize is going to be that's going to tell it all for us. It's going to really contribute to our success.
Okay.
And for me, first of all, that analogy was unbelievable.
It was.
I tried.
I love it. and I loved how you said we wobbled a little bit. That train failed.
Well, I didn't want them, but come on, yes.
We was derailed.
Yeah.
I was being politically correct.
Yes, but we put it back up. But I love,
amazingly.
yes. But I love the analogy. And I'm like, Misha, I love to listen to you talk and how you pull things together. You're such a motivator. It is an honor and a pleasure for me to be on this board, but also an honor to be the board president and to work with all of you. Just like Misha was saying, and I'm saying, in order to be a good board, you have to have a good team too. And with us, I see us as a board, we're that guiding factor, but then we have you guys that takes on what we're saying, and then you make it happen. And, we have a small but mighty board.
Yes.
We do.
Yes.
It's small but mighty. And what I think is for the org chart and what you were saying, we as a board, we understand how that operates. And then you all understand how it operates, and that's how we all come together. And I think the closeness, the relationships, being real with each other, having those communications that really spell it all out, that's what helps us to help each other to make this work. And Wambui, I'm going to put it out there, you're doing two roles right now.
Yeah.
You are doing the managing director role as well as you're doing the artistic director's role.
Not forever.
But not forever. Yes. But the amount of time that you're doing a great job. And we know that there will be a time that we will look for a managing director, but right now it's working. We're pulling it together, but we're a team. I think now that we've gotten to know each other, how each other really work, really knowing each other, not what someone tells us, but actually really knowing each other and pulling it together. And I think, and the communication, that's another thing. The communication is great. I know I make those 8:00 phone calls. I'm sorry. Okay, I'm sorry.
But I'm up.
But the communication and staying in touch and just having those times where you just check in, aside from the board meetings. And so that's what I see, and I see us working well together and keeping that train on the track.
Can I just emphasize something though, real quickly?
Yes.
This is magic. Most organizations, most corporations, you always got one that's just going to beat to their own drum and do their own thing and really don't have the same intent or commitment or purpose. I think we are all in sync. That's why this thing is going to be monumental. It already is for those who have ever stepped foot in the Jubilee, in the actual theater itself. But to see the productions and then just see all the love and the care, and for everyone to all be firing on the same all cylinders, that's rare.
It's very rare.
And so as an institution, we have to preserve that integrity. So as we're looking for individuals as board members or as staff members, they have to be a part of this culture.
I love it.
Yes.
We can't succeed without that.
Exactly.
So,
But I want to add one thing, and I'm not going to talk too much. But when I
love it. Keep
when
going.
I walk in the theater now, and I've said this to you, Wambui, I've said it to Kenya. When I walk into the theater, it's something that comes over me. As it's a closeness, it's a feel of collaboration. It's it's like I love being there and
Love
I
it.
love being a part of it.
Yes.
And that's a change and that's something different. And I just love the feel of it.
Yes. We love
Thank
it.
you.
Mhm.
Thank you.
Mhm.
Thank you.
Mm.
Thank you. Thank you so much. This is me being the person that's been there the longest
Mhm.
and
Mhm.
seeing all the different
Yeah.
changes. This has been the best
Oh,
time.
good.
And I've been there a long time. I've been there longer than
Uh-huh.
Wambui.
Yes.
So I have seen the different things. And this
Mhm.
train is finally
Mm.
moving in the right
That
direction.
is so
You
good
actually
to
feel
hear.
that.
That
I
is so
actually
good to
Yeah.
hear.
feel it.
Yeah.
And I'm thankful for that. So, okay, we ain't gonna get all emotional.
I know, right? I starting to water a little bit. T, don't give me a tissue.
Now, this conversation is going very well. And as many of you may not know, the board and the staff, we are preparing for a deep dive workshop. Okay, focused on developing the next chapter of Jubilee Theater. So I got to ask, if money was not an object, and it's always, if money was not an object, what would you love to see Jubilee Theater become? That's a good one.
So, I love the kids. I feel like the arts are so very important to the development of our people, for our young people. It's a great creative outlet for them, in the expression of who they are as beings. And I just don't feel like we as a society put enough energy or
Yes.
effort into the arts. Like, we discount it, and most people are sane because of the arts. We are content because of what music brings to our hearts. Just hearing the word, and again, I'm going back to Wambui, because when you talk, I'm just like captivated. Those things bring peace.
Mhm.
And Lord knows that's what we need right now. So if money was not an object, I would love to see, and we kind of discussed this off camera earlier, but bringing things to the children in the schools, letting them experience it, even if they can't come to Jubilee Theater, letting them experience a little tidbit of it in class, in school. I think it'll be very helpful, because you have some kids who are off the wall, and guess what? This is a way for them to utilize that talent for good.
Yes.
I love that.
Yes.
So if money wasn't an object for Jubilee, I would love to see us have our own space,
Yes.
to have our own place, and to have something that we own and something that is ours. And so that's what I look for, and that's what I see in our future.
Yes.
Mhm.
I like both of those ideas. I'm all for the children. I'm all for the children. I love that. I would love to go into a school and
Oh, yes. You would be awesome.
teach the
Have a good
children.
time with the
Yes,
children.
have a good time with the children.
Mm.
Okay, Wambui, what you
Come on.
got for
So
us?
I would say the great thing about this conversation is it gives us the ability to dream big.
Mhm.
And so the bigger you dream, you then have to have the opportunity to reflect back on where you are now and what are the steps necessary to reverse engineer our way to those potential objectives. So when we're getting ready to go into our planning session, which is going to start in January 5th, we're locking it down and we closing the door. But January 5th, we're going to start that process. And I invite all of the board members and myself to come to the table with as big of a dream for Jubilee as possible. I want to see Jubilee in a place where we own and operate our own building, a
Yes.
minimum, or ideally have two spaces. A 250-seat theater and maybe a 300 to 400-seat theater. What does it look like if we have two spaces that are duly operated? We have a space that we can do musicals in, a space for non-musicals, and a space that we can rent out. And that way we have a second or a secondary income coming in. There's a building I've laid my eyes on quite a long time ago. And I just walk by and I just touch it every now and then. Lord,
You
is
need
this-
some oil.
is it- you coming? We will bless it. They got its own
Get you
parking
some
lot.
blessed oil.
Everything.
I'll bring
sitting
you a
right there.
bottle.
And it's still adjacent to Sundance Square. Beautiful building. But I see a world where, Jubilee. There's nothing stopping us from being You know, and I hate to, throw other people out. There's nothing that's stopping us from being a Dallas Theater Center or Fort Worth.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and nothing stopping us from being the leading African American theater in America, or being the leading LORT African American theater in America. You know, right now, I know who, if you got to go to Jersey, because that's where that particular theater is. But, I've worked with them, and they don't even own their own building. They used to, and now they don't. What does it look like to be a fully operating theater with a, $25 million operating budget? That we have full staff, full training, and we can proudly poke our chest out and say that every actor, every artist, every designer that touches the stage, that they are a product of the DFW area, that we're building them and then we're sending them out into the world to represent us. And so that's what I hope that, it ain't gonna happen overnight, but you have to have a big vision to then plan out how do we get there. And as we're thinking about the visions that we want as an organization, we have to then start thinking about what skill sets we bring to the table to achieve them, and what are we missing, so that as we start thinking about board members, we start thinking about, okay, if this is what our vision is, what are those other skills or knowledge bases that we need to bring to the table? So as we're thinking about, one day, when sometime in the season, opening the doors for potential board members, what are some of those skill sets that you all would love to see us bring to the table to help uplift Jubilee Theater?
Well, I think we need some law. We need attorneys. We need some attorneys on the board. We also need people that are well-versed in grant writing. I can see that. And also to people that are involved in the arts, that understand what the art is and what we do. I see that.
Yes.
And then where do we go? How do we get to owning our own place? How do we get to that? Well, I think we've got to get our artists to understand that it's great that you're coming to the show, but those tickets are not going to get us where we need to go. The ticket sales. And we want you there, but we want you to understand that it's a lot more than that. And when you're looking for somewhere to give, or when you need to get that tax break, or when you need something, Jubilee is here.
Come on.
And that's what we need to get people to understand, that we need more support financially. We want you there, but we do need the support financially. So we're looking for attorneys. We're looking for artists, in the theater, and just looking for people that know how to do grant writing. And I think those are some things where we're lacking a little bit on our board as far as the experience.
Okay.
Yeah, I agree wholeheartedly. And maybe someone also with a financial background, especially considering the goals as it relates to property ownership, land, and, building out things. So, just knowing where to focus on financially, that would be helpful. And then also, individuals who have some strong connections and strong ties with philanthropic causes, or folks who want to give some money. We would love to take that money. So folks who have those sort of connections, maybe from their prior roles.
And also to remember, it doesn't have to be someone in Fort Worth.
That's
We
right.
can be someone in the Dallas area as well,
Yes.
or anywhere. So
Anywhere.
we're just not making it here in Fort Worth. We can open that up, and we'll take money from.
Yeah.
We'll take it.
All
DFW
over
is
the
DFW.
United States.
Yes, that's the joy of being a
The whole
nonprofit.
United States. We will
Worldwide.
take the
yes.
worldwide. You want to go on over to the Londons? Go ahead.
Yeah. And that's
Yes.
a part of, the long-term vision is, what does it look like, for Jubilee Theater? We're already developing new works. What does it look like, if I have the druthers and I had the staffing and the financials behind it? What does it look like if we were to develop a Broadway musical? What would it look like if we were to develop more commercial works that Jubilee Theater can then lease out to other organizations, and that becomes a third level of income that is always coming into Jubilee Theater. And so that's why I'm not permanently in the dual position, because the goal is to inevitably bring someone in who's going to go back and take over the managerial side of the organization, so that I can fully 110% give to the artistic side for the development of new works. Like my secret passion project right now, I'm working on Mahogany the musical, and what would it look like if You know, number one, everybody in this room, we know what mahogany is. There's a whole new generation that doesn't. But it is a beautiful show, and it's such a powerful and impactful book and screenplay that our audience would just wrap its mind around and be like, who's going to be the Diana? You know, all of that good stuff. And then to turn it into a musical and just embrace that music. You know, a show like that could help put Jubilee Theatre on a larger scale beyond DFW, beyond Texas. But I just have to have the time to be able to go into the studio and just say, for the next 6 months, the next 12 months, I'm developing new work.
Right.
So we got to be able to get us there down the line. So I know that as a board, as a little engine that could,
That's right. That's right.
we're going to get there.
Yes.
And what's pivotal about these next few weeks, few months really, is that we're going to be sitting down at the table, throwing things at the wall, planning out big term, short term, medium term, and in the process also thinking about what happens along the way. Because I think sometimes we have a vision and say we're going to move forward, but we don't always think about the contingencies, you know, which is, you know, sometimes, you know, I'm usually that one about, so if we do this, please be aware that A and B are possibilities. And I love the board has embraced, you know, his mind is thinking about the yes and the no. And before, you know, this new board, I always felt like I was the naysayer in the room, that I just need to be quiet, because if I say to them, yes, that's a beautiful idea. However, we need to be aware of the following. You know, it wasn't always welcomed. And now it feels welcomed, and it feels that you all understand that my brain is thinking about the contingencies, because if the net falls out, somebody has to be ready to catch it.
Well, we trust you.
Yeah.
That's
Trust
it.
you.
Yeah, I thank you. And what's great is the trust is mutual, and I don't feel like I'm responsible for the net by myself anymore.
Right.
You know, that we all, there's
We're
four
gonna hold
corners
it-
of this
we're gonna
net,
hold it in.
and all of us
Everybody's
are holding our
holding a
pieces
piece.
of it. Yeah.
And you know, just like Misha just said, we trust you. We trust all of you.
Yeah.
We really do. We trust you, because when you think about it, as a board, we're not day to day. We're not down there day to day. We don't see you guys every day.
Yes.
And you're running it great.
Thank you.
And why would we discard anything that you or Kenya or any of the other staff had? You guys know what you're doing down there. And we trust you, and we have that faith in you that you're not going to steer it in the wrong direction. And that's that feel that we have together, you know, because the first thing we say, well, what does one buoy think?
And we've seen so many amazing developments and progressions
With
over the
them, right?
Yes,
With
yes.
you
I mean, and
guys,
even you know,
yes.
even what Kyra's been doing with the social media, like you all have really stepped it up. Like every day I see something, which is great, because I know that takes a lot of work. That's a full-time job in
That's a lot
itself.
of work.
Yes.
And then
Yes.
getting the phone calls. I get phone calls, I get texts, I get emails about Kenya. And they, because she's the voice.
She's a voice.
And they love her, and she does a great job. It's that curb appeal, and people, it's that first impression, and that's what they look at. When they're turned off by that, it's done. But you reel them in, and I've heard you speak to them with such grace and care, and you're just wonderful. You guys just, you know what to do, because they love Jubilee.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's it. If you didn't love this place, you wouldn't be doing this great.
Yeah.
You guys love this place, and
Yes.
it shows.
And again, it goes back to being special, because we live in a society that everything is automated. You call a number to get tickets. You're not talking to a human. So to get a human that
Yes.
cares, that's really, you know, listening and trying to be a solutions advocate for you,
It
it
means a
really means a
lot.
lot.
I
So,
get that. I get that all the time.
Yeah.
I just got it today. Like,
See?
you called me back? And
Mhm.
Yeah.
yes.
Yeah.
I'm going to always call you back. She was, I love it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it means a lot.
It means a
a
lot.
lot. So
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. And we thank you, ladies, for joining us on today.
Oh, is it
Uh,
over?
Not quite. We got one more question to ask.
Okay.
you, okay?
See, now they like it. They're having a good time up
They're
here.
having a good time. You have said so many wonderful things about Jubilee Theater and the staff and everybody that's here. Now, if someone wants to be a board member, what piece of jewel or some nugget that you have to tell them in regards to being a board member of Jubilee Theatre or even just a nonprofit? What is
Gosh,
something?
Anita, would you like to take that first? I gotta think about that one.
It's a commitment. I'm going to tell you that. Whether you're the board president or even if you're a member of the board, it's a commitment. Board meeting once a month, maybe twice. It depends on what's happening. But the commitment, and also too, to be honest, there is a financial commitment as well. And just having the time and the heart and the love for Jubilee Theatre. So really, it's the time commitment, financial commitment, and then just having the love for it.
Okay.
I think the love, as a piggyback to what she said, I agree wholeheartedly. You have to love it. You have to love the arts. You have to feel a very special place in your heart that there's a hole because you can't feel it unless you are associated with Jubilee.
Right.
And in doing so, your cup will run over.
Yeah.
And so the financial part, yes, it's a financial part, but you know what? I gladly give. I
Right.
gladly give because I know how it's going to benefit the community, and that brings a lot of joy.
Okay.
Love it. Love it.
Thank you.
Thank you. Now, beautiful people, it's still the month of January. In fact, it's the first week of January. And guess what? We are in rehearsals for the one and only Hype Man. It is a hip hop musical that brings a lot of pivotal questions. My southern tongue has been catching me real good today. It brings a lot of pivotal questions to the table about rap, about the direction in which rap is going. It is a cross-generational show that has really great questions to it. So please, ma'ams and sirs, come on out because our next show will be members from that show coming out here to talk with you all. So please join us for Podcast 13 and meet the designer, meet the director, and learn more about the show. But this is Jubilee's appeal to broadening our audience. We're trying to capture, I try to make sure that there is something every season for everybody.
Yes.
Something from the youngest to the oldest and something in between.
Yes.
So this is that show that's that in between, but it's also a show that is for an older generation. The rap is still attainable. They're not, spitting it rapid fire. You're like, even me, when I'm like, I didn't understand nothing he just said. Like, please slow down, baby, slow down. So it is a very unique show that we intentionally are setting in Texas because Texas itself has its own hip hop. Houston hip hop versus Dallas hip hop versus Fort Worth hip hop and all around. So when you come, you're going to be hearing the unique sound of hip hop from the Texas area as we grapple with this deep conversation around some of the words we use in rap, some of the images that we use in rap, some of the connotations that are brought out, and also the purpose of rap. You have socially conscious rap, and then you got gangster rap, and you got the stuff in between. And so join us for Hype Man. I promise you, it is a show that it's gonna make you do a little of this, but it's also gonna make you think, make you laugh, make you cry, and make you walk out the door having a deeper conversation. So join us for Hype Man.
January 30th
Yes.
through February 28th, 2026. All right.
Come on.
Looking
Now-
forward to that one.
Come on.
Yeah.
Now, don't forget that we have Flex Passes also. If you want to just enjoy a full year of Jubilee Theatre and put it on your calendar, yes, I just helped somebody with their entire calendar for the season of Jubilee last week. Yes, they got every show and every date that they needed. So call the box office Tuesday through Friday from 12 to 5 at 817-338-4411. Again, that is 817-338-4411. Or you can simply go to Jubilee's website at Jubilee Theatre, that's an RE.org. Get your Flex Passes or call and ask me all the questions you need to ask and get your Flex Passes still, okay? We have 4 of them. Call me and ask me the prices because I can't tell you right now.
I love it. Now, Miss Misha, Miss Anita, there's something that Miss Kenya and I do at the closeout of every show. We say, I am, we are Jubilee Theater.
So we're
And
going to do it together.
Can we all do it together?
Sure,
Y'all just
we
say
would
the
love
last
to.
part, okay?
So
We
y'all
say the
gonna
last
say
part?
Jubilee Theater.
Okay.
And so we're gonna
Okay.
kick this thing off because it just makes sense that we all do this thing together.
Yes.
Okay.
So as we get ready to close out, remember always, I am
We are
Jubilee Theater.